What did I even get married for? 2 years ago, I was happy and hopeful. I believed I'd spend my life with the person I loved, sharing vows and building a future together. But now, I've ended up working like a housekeeper in my in-laws' home. How did my life come to this? All I wanted was a peaceful married life. Now, I just want to leave this house. I've thought about running away so many times. But when the moment comes, I freeze. I just can't take that final step. Is this how my life is going to be forever? Just when I was about to give up, something gave me a spark of hope. My name is Nina. I'm 33 years old. 2 years ago, I married my husband, Kyle. We met at work and dated for 3 years before tying the knot. After we got married, I quit my job and became a housewife. Everything seemed fine at first, but not long after we started our new life, Kyle's father passed away suddenly. At that time, Kyle's dad, mom, and younger sister all lived together. His dad was the one who provided for the family. Kyle's mom was a full-time housewife, and his sister, Lily, was still in university. The money Kyle's dad left behind wasn't much and was mostly used to cover Lily's school fees. One day, Kyle's mom called him. "Kyle, can you come back home? We really need your help." At first, Kyle didn't want to agree. "But Mom, I have a life with Nina now. I can't just leave everything." "I know, I understand that. I promise I won't make things hard for you and Nina. Please, Kyle, we really have no one else to turn to." Kyle's mom was crying over the phone, begging him. I sat next to Kyle, listening to the whole conversation. It made me feel so conflicted. Kyle's mom had been a housewife her entire life. Now that her husband was gone, it wasn't easy for her to suddenly find work. Kyle even offered to send her some money, but she refused. "Money? Oh, there's no need for that. Just move back into our house. That way, you won't have to pay rent either, right?" "That's true, but Nina and I just got married." "It's fine. Nina and I get along well. I promise I won't make things hard for her." "Well, I'm not sure about this. Could you ask Nana directly? She'll probably understand your request." I think Kyle's mom already knew I wouldn't be able to say no. How could I? We had just gotten married, and I didn't have the courage to reject her request to live together. Kyle gave me a week to think about it. I spent every moment debating it, weighing my options. But no matter how much I thought about it, I just couldn't say no. Of course, I wanted to enjoy our new life, just the two of us. But I also knew that refusing would strain our relationship with Kyle's family in the future. I told myself, we need to keep the peace with his family. I can't risk them disliking me. So after a lot of thought, I agreed to move in. Kyle worried about me until the very end, but I reassured him, saying everything would be fine. We packed up and moved into his parents' house. On moving day, Kyle's mom and sister greeted me warmly. "Welcome, Nina. I'm so glad you're here. It'll be nice having you around." "Thank you. I'll do my best." Living with them had its upside, no rent. Kyle's salary would be enough to support everyone. His mom even promised to look for a job, and if money got tight, I could always return to work. That's what I thought. But I had no idea what her real intentions were. 2 weeks after we moved in, it all started to make sense. Kyle's work schedule was hectic, and he usually didn't get home until after 9 p.m. I woke up at 5:30 every morning to make breakfast and see him off. Afterward, I prepare breakfast for everyone else. One morning, I had just sat down to eat after seeing Kyle off when I heard a loud voice. "Nina." Startled, I turned toward the sound. Kyle's mom had walked into the room looking angry. "Oh, good morning," I said nervously. But before I could say more, she cut me off, raising her voice. "Wait a minute. What do you think you're doing?" I just saw Kyle off and sat down to have breakfast. "What? You're going to eat before me or Lily? How rude." "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. I was planning to go to City Hall after this." "I don't care about that. How dare you eat before the heads of this household?" "I am sorry," I stammered, completely confused. Just then, Lily, my sister-in-law, came downstairs. Seeing her mom scolding me, she smirked. "Oh no, Nina got Mom mad." "But honestly, Nina, it's your fault. You're not very good at handling things, are you?" "What? What did I even do wrong?" I was stunned, unsure of what to say. "I've been living here for 2 weeks now, and I've realized something. You're the kind of people who just make everyone upset." "What?" I couldn't believe I was being told that. From that moment, everything got worse. Kyle's mom and sister started working together to mock and criticize me every chance they got. Nina, make sure you clean the house and do all the laundry. Kyle and I are going out. Make sure you do your job, Mrs. Housekeeper. Okay. Housekeeper? I'm not here just to do housework. What? Then what are you here for? How shameless. No wonder Kyle has such bad taste in women. Wait, at least do your own laundry. You're so clueless. We're letting you live here, so don't complain. Exactly. If you keep acting up, we'll tell Kyle to divorce you. It felt like it didn't see me as part of the family anymore. I tried to put up with it for the first few months, but eventually I couldn't handle it. One day, after Kyle came home from work, I decided to talk to him about how I was feeling. Hey Kyle, sorry to bother you while you're tired, but can we talk for a minute? Of course. What's wrong? It's about your mom and sister. They've been putting all the housework on me, and it's really been hard. Really? They've been making you do everything. I nodded, but I couldn't tell him everything that had been happening. I only shared the basics of the constant mistreatment I was facing. You know, even though I'm your wife, I still feel like an outsider here. I was hoping maybe you could talk to them, just to let them know it's becoming too much for me. I get it. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize things were this bad. It's okay. Also, do you think it would be okay if I took a part-time job during the day? Why? Did something change? I don't know. I just feel like I need to get out of the house for a little while. If that's what you want, go ahead. Thanks, Kyle. I hadn't told him the full truth, but the situation was worse than I had let on. The more I stayed in this house, the more my mother-in-law and sister-in-law made my life difficult. I started feeling like I wanted to avoid being home as much as possible. So I quickly found a job and started working at a bakery the following month. Even though I wasn't home as much, the bullying from my in-laws didn't stop. If anything, it seemed to get worse with my absence. Kyle's warnings only made his mom and sister more angry. By the second year of living with them, the situation had gotten worse every single day. Kyle's mom had claimed she was looking for a job, but she always made excuses saying she failed interviews when in fact she hadn't even gone to one. My sister-in-law had graduated from college, but she was only working part-time, barely making any money. Kyle had talked to them many times, but each time they apologized and promised to look for work, but nothing ever changed. I had had enough. One day, as I was doing my usual housework, I overheard Kyle's mom and sister arguing. It seemed they had plans to go out, but both claimed they didn't have any money. I thought it was ridiculous, but then Kyle's mom called out to me. Hey you, useless daughter-in-law, come here. We're going out, but we don't have any money. Can you lend us some? I'm sorry, but it's tight for me too, before payday. What? Are you refusing? You don't have the right to say no. Even if you say that, just give me the money already. Kyle's mom grabbed me and pulled my wallet from the pocket of my apron. I'd started carrying my wallet in my apron after she had taken it from my bag without asking before. Hey, please stop. I reached out to take my wallet back, but she slapped my hand away. Then, as she looked through my wallet, she scoffed. What is this? There's hardly anything in here. There's only $30 in this wallet. What? Seriously? You work, and this is all you have? That's really bad. You're useless. Watching you is so frustrating. And now you can't even contribute anything. Yeah, seriously. You're terrible at housework too. You're just worthless. Their laughter filled the room, and my self-esteem sank even lower. Then Kyle's mom said something unexpected. If she's just going to keep making us mad, why don't we just kick her out? That's a great idea. She's a nuisance. If we get rid of her, life will be easier. You're a genius, Mom. Plus, we'll save money on her living expenses and we can use it for ourselves. It was clear they saw me as nothing more than a servant and a way to get money. I'd had enough of their treatment. If you're going to keep acting like this, I won't hesitate to take action. I took a deep breath and stood my ground. Oh, really? Are you sure you want me to leave? Of course. Leave as soon as possible. Yeah, your presence is just annoying. But only if you have somewhere to go, of course. I see. Well, thank you very much. Goodbye then. I quickly went to my room and packed my things. Kyle's mom and sister looked a bit confused by how fast I was moving, but I ignored them and walked out of the house. I went to a hotel near Kyle's office. I contacted him and waited for him to finish work. Several hours later, Kyle finished work and met up with me. He looked confused, understandably. Nina, why are you here? I finally told Kyle everything. Babe, I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but your mom has been bullying me this whole time. What? My mom? Not just your mom. Lily, too. At first, they just pushed me to do all the housework, but lately the verbal abuse has gotten worse, and now they're even asking for money. That can't be true. Even though Kyle loved me, he was still close to his family, so I knew it would be hard for him to bully without proof. To show him I was serious, I pulled out the divorce papers I had prepared in advance and showed them to him. Kyle looked like he was about to cry and tore up the divorce papers. Nina, why? I'm sorry, Nina. I didn't realize how much you were suffering. Why are you apologizing, Kyle? Nina, I know you're not the kind of person to lie like that. I understand you better than anyone else. When he said that, I couldn't hold it in and started crying. Kyle gently hugged me as I cried like a child. He believed me, his wife, instead of his mother and sister. That was enough to make me feel relieved. The next day, Kyle and I went back to my in-laws' house. When Kyle's mom saw me, she frowned but quickly pretended everything was fine in front of him. Nina, where did you go? I was worried about you, she said, clearly lying. Kyle went straight to his room and started packing his things. Then he said to his mom and sister, Nina and I are leaving this house. You can do whatever you want. What are you saying, Kyle? Yeah, Kyle, what happened all of a sudden? How can you act so calm about this? Nina was hurt because of you too. What are you talking about? We didn't do anything wrong, right, dear? Yeah. Kyle, you're not really believing what she says, are you? We didn't do anything. My sister-in-law even covered her face with both hands and pretended to cry, but Kyle didn't fall for it. He raised his voice and said to them, Stop this nonsense. Do you even understand how Nina felt all this time? Of course, I'm at fault for not noticing sooner, but the biggest responsibility lies with you too. I've ignored the fact that you didn't work all this time, but I've had enough. We're leaving. Wait, Kyle, what will happen to us if you leave? Yeah, wait, what about our lives? How should I know? Kyle replied, You two have been making us work while you just did whatever you wanted. And on top of that, you've been bullying my wife. How can you live with yourselves? Aren't you ashamed, especially with Dad gone? Let me tell you, I don't consider you two as my family anymore. From now on, Nina and I will live happily together. Don't interfere with us. Got it? Kyle smiled gently, took my hand, and we started to leave the living room. Then Kyle's mom shouted, Wait, Nana, I'm so sorry. Kyle's mom and sister looked at me with tears in their eyes. They must have been hoping I would forgive them so they could get Kyle's forgiveness as well. Nina, I'm so sorry, Kyle's mom repeated. Looking at her, I firmly responded, Enough with the apologies. There's nothing you can say now to make me forgive you. Please don't say that. We won't do anything to upset you anymore. I can't believe that. For the past 2 years, I've been living like I was in hell. Now that I'm finally free, you want me to go back to that life. I won't waste any more of my life on people like you. I turned my back and started walking. Kyle walked with me, matching his pace to mine. I felt like crying, but this time, I felt relief. After that, the two were forced to live a difficult life. Even though they owned the house and didn't have to pay rent, they still had to cover expenses like utilities, food, and property taxes. There was no way they could manage all that with just my sister-in-law's part-time job. So my mother-in-law ended up starting a part-time job as well. But since she didn't have much experience, she could only find low-paying jobs with small allowances. As a result, they couldn't enjoy the luxuries they were used to, and they became worn out. Kyle still gets requests for help from them, but he ignores all their messages without giving in. I wonder if they will ever realize their own situation, but honestly, it's no longer my concern. On the other hand, Kyle and I are looking for a new house. We're searching for a place that's halfway between his work and my part-time job. I'm so grateful to my husband, who believed me when I needed him the most. I want to spend my life with him forever. Thank you.